We're going to start with Peter Friedrich, followed by Brian Darby. Welcome.
Question. Would the city of Santa Clara bring a chapter of the Proud Boys into its police department to stage a photo op with the officers? That would be disturbing enough, but for all its faults, at least the Proud Boys is an American outfit, right? So would the city of Santa Clara recognize and legitimize a local cell of the Chinese Communist Party by bringing them into these chambers, awarding them with a resolution and platforming them here? No doubt city officials would not do that. Why? Because you know what the Proud Boys stand for and you know whose interests the CCP represents. So then why has the city of Santa Clara repeatedly engaged with the local cell of an organization called the HSS? And did you know that the HSS is the American wing of India's RSS? The RSS, according to the civil rights group Justice for All, is the largest paramilitary organization in the world and follows an ideology called Hindutva, which is a fascist, Nazi-inspired majoritarian ideology that the HSS also embraces. Congressman Ro Khanna notably says it is a duty to reject Hindutva. Were city officials unaware of this when they welcomed the HSS for photo ops at local police stations and recently applauded them right here in these very chambers? Of course, the HSS is not forthcoming about its RSS ties. As political scientist Dr. Christoph Jafferlo explains, the HSS is the RSS operated under a different name, but it will strive to mask the links they have with the RSS to avoid being overtly stigmatized. Stigmatized indeed, since the RSS in India is rapidly implementing its Hindutva agenda to make it hell on earth for minorities like Christians, Muslims, and Sikhs, all with the goal of ultimately exterminating them. And yet Hindutva is not just a problem for Indians in India. It impacts us here in America, in California, in Santa Clara. The HSS and associated groups host tours of hate speakers from India who spew Islamophobia, work to manipulate school curriculum to teach a supremacist version of history, and push for state and federal legislation that would label critics of Hindutva as bigots. One of the HSS's associates is the Hindu American Foundation, which Harper's Magazine explains is closely connected in word and spirit to the RSS and its spin-offs, and which lobbies against efforts to squash criticism and critics of Hindutva. No wonder that groups like HAF are opposing California's SB 509, which would curb transnational repression. They don't care that Californians like me are targeted by India's spy agency for criticizing Hindutva, or that some American critics are even targeted for assassination. Instead, HAF and HSS want to protect and advance the interests of that supremacist ideology of Hindutva. And when the city of Santa Clara platforms and praises the HSS, it's unwittingly playing into their agenda. If you would not platform and praise the Proud Boys or the CCP, then ethically you ought to think thrice before doing it again for the HSS, knowing as you do now that it is the international wing of that murderous Hindu nationalist paramilitary, the RSS. And I have for every member a information packet.
Please give it to our city clerk. Thank you, Peter. Thank you.